Just fucking do it. Subscribe now.
And as he said very aptly, he says, people sell for different reasons. And that is absolutely true. So don't presuppose that everybody's going to do the same thing for the same reason. Because they're not. They're not. But what you care is that they do it. And they will do it. And when you press the different buttons, and after you've done it a few times, when you know what button to press, but it's not the same button to press for everybody. Yep.
Would you say that you liked his sales method by building the LOI offer there with?
I mean, it's the same sales method I used, except I don't do it on the screen, on the Zoom screen. I did it in person.
Is that the insurance method you were talking about previously?
That's sales 101. That's insurance sales 101. The guys, you just sit across the table, and we used to have a yellow pad, a yellow pad, with mama cooking coffee, and I didn't go, it's cool, all that shit, I didn't do like he did, like a lot of the kids. That's a political correct methodology. But you want them to agree? But I fixed the documents that we signed them there. I didn't send it to them in 48 hours. Because nothing good's going to come in 48 hours. That's why, where's the hammer? The hammer over there, but the hatchet, that hatchet right there that was given to me on my birthday, 1977, the one that's in a frame. I was like a hatchet murderer. You either bought or I left you in pieces. I mean, not literally, but figuratively. And I did. Yep.
What do we do if we get new board members after we've already done acquisitions? Do we still give 2% in shares?
No, you can't give them founders' equity. I told you that earlier. You weren't listening. You can't. Once you form the company, you can't give founders' equity ever again. This is one time only. 54th of Madison. I'm only going to fuck you 3 times for the price of one. One time tonight at 2:15. Take it or leave it. There is no founders' equity after you found the company. How can you give founders' equity after the company's formed? Doomkopf. I told you give them options. And there's 4 or 5 different option schemes. Remember, you've heard. I'm not going to go through that again. There is no more founders' equity. And I've had guys, not recently, literally, one time only, today, from 3 to 3:15. Sign up now or fuck you. Eventually, the hookers that are on 54th of Madison in their miniskirts get too cold and they go home. Yep.
You can't give them equity. You have to give them options after.
What did I just say? Yes.
But why can't you give them equity?
Because I said free founders equity. It's not a founder anymore. You already formed the fucking company. How can you give them founders equity if the company's already formed? The train already left the fucking station.
It's not founders equity, but it's equity out of these.
No, that's you don't understand. It's obvious. Free founders is the founders of the Declaration of Independence. There were 27 people that signed the motherfucker. The people that joined later weren't founding fathers, were they? They weren't founding fathers. They didn't get any founders' equity. They may have gotten equity in the form of options. And options you have to, and I'm not going to walk you through options, but you got to pay for options. So free founders' equity is one time only. Yes, sir.
So in this case, how would we structure it? Would we give options to them for like €1 a piece?
What are we back to option? What are you talking about? Who?
Let's say I fire the chairman, then I get another chairman.
No. Okay. How many deals have you done?
Say I've done 2 deals and then I fire the chairman.
You're not giving them any founders equity. You're giving them options that are exercisable at a certain price. Don't worry about it. Ask your lawyer. Remember, Gabriel said when he fired the chairman, he had a pretend board meeting without the chairman. Remember? Then he had another board meeting when they brought in another moron chairman, right? 2 weeks later. Then they formed the company, and they gave free founders equity to the new chairman, but they hadn't formed the company yet, so everybody got free founders equity. So arguably, he could have given the same amount of stock, percentage of the equity to the second guy. I don't know what he did. I don't give a fuck, okay? Believe me, they will suck your dick until the foreskin comes off for free founders equity. You won't need sex for a year. For those of you that are uncircumcised, you don't have to be circumcised. Gonna suck the head off for free founders equity. Because nobody in Ireland, Scoutsville, Beirut, or a moron like you from Austria has ever offered them anything. Ever. And it's tax-free. You have so many fucking people on LinkFuck. Just put the word free. You don't even have to put free founders equity. It's the key principle that makes this work. More importantly, it's a key principle to get their attention so you can show them that it makes it work. Bless you. You can't say bless you. By the way, you know how people say God bless you when they sneeze? You can't say that anymore. It's against the law. Because you're using God. And not everybody believes in God. Allah bless you. Can't say that either. Any deity. It's against the motherfucking law now. That pissed me off the most a couple years ago. But when they took Mickey Mouse away, that was it for me. I mean, you can't say the deity and you can't say Mickey Mouse. I mean, fuck. This world, when I say the world's gone to shit, I'm not kidding you. I still, I can't, I'm like the hooker or the nymph. I can't help, I still say that. I still hold doors for women. I still get up when a woman walks in the room. Years ago, at the beginning of this woke shit, I'm sitting up front, first class, and a little teeny lady, about 5 feet tall or tall, couldn't get the shit up in the, above the locker, above her seat, and she was trying to stand and not fuck her dress and not put her high heel back, and so I tried to help her, and she pushed me away. Thank you very much. I can take care of myself. Okay, didn't say anything. And then as life would have it, and we're going, and then we both try to get in the same cab. I got in the cab. And as it turned out, she was at the same meeting that I was going to. She was a lawyer. I beat that fucking bitch like a fucking rented mule. She couldn't say anything right. And normally I just sit and listen. So the only way that I can tell if you know what you're doing is for me to sit and listen. It's one of the only times I'm not flapping my lips. Every time she opened her mouth, I stuck my foot in it. All because, anyway, one of the few times I was on a plane without Sally. Sally would have punched her. But, okay, what else? Who's my 5:30? 6. That's it. When do you do whiskey tasting? 7. You got your kilts? The knives aren't real. For those of you the little scabbards. The only knife that's real is mine. So, in case it gets ugly. Tonight we're in the castle, the formal dining room. And then after dinner, we'll have Q&A if you want it, and I'm pretty sure you'll want it. And we sit around and commiserate, and you ask me questions about, he's going to ask me how much free founders equity. The same question is going to come up again. That's just it. And we'll all remember you from your last part of your goals and affirmations, fucking the good-looking chicks. But now it's up to you to go pull the trigger. And we use Thomas at the end because he's the closest to me that we have in selling. He's got terrific selling skills, and he pulls the trigger, and he uses the modern technology, and it's selling 101. And he's done a terrific job. He's one of the few that's already refinanced the total deal. And he's crystallized or realized what the value of the business is. And until you finance it more than one deal, you won't crystallize what it's really worth. Until, so if you pulled out 73 million, it's got to be worth at least 73 million. And if you pulled out 73 million, it's probably worth double that. Because the banks aren't going to finance you 100 cents on the dollar. So it's probably worth 150. And he was talking about those numbers, but there was a lot of smoke until it actually happened. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was going to ask that earlier. Typically, what percentage of the value do the banks?
Well, Jason Nagy's up to 75%. But I mean, but on the 60-40 deal, they'll do 100% because they're doing 60%. They'll really do 65%, and you can pull cash out. On the 60-40 deal, you can normally get 65% bank financing, of which 60% you're giving the guy or the gal or the it, and the 5% you're using to pay fees.
One question about CEO. So chairman, fine. CFO, fine. So CEO, if I have an idea of the type of person who they're already running a company or they're in a company, but they've got no equity, but they're like the operator in a company that's similar to what I'm going to be buying. Do people scout them and they do it on the side?
No.
No.
See, side implies non-disclosure. Side sounds like a Liverpool deal.
It is probably.
Yeah, well, no, this is not a Liverpool or one of your deals. I mean, it's just not, or one of your deals. You got to get that out of your mind. This is a legit heads-up fucking deal, And for some of the parts of the world and states that you come from, there's always some element of, taking care of business outside the scope of the deal. That is far from what we're doing. So you'll give him the opportunity. He'll look at the deal and say, yeah, I mean, and some will say, as soon as you make an acquisition, I'm on board. Yeah. As soon, yeah, but not while he's working. He's got an employment contract. I'm almost 1,000% positive that it's in conflict of his employment contract, running your deal on the side. And then he's going to win all cash, delivered in a bag. And, the more stipulations he puts in, the less legal it is. And that's not what this is. I say this tongue-in-cheek. For a couple, three of you, this may be the first legit deal you've ever done. And we've had people in here. This may be the first time that you've ever, been associated with something that's 100% fully disclosed, legitimate, honest, above board, within the legal parameters of wherever you're doing business. In places, in some of the Asian countries and places, Indian, like we've discussed, I mean, that's one of the most difficult things. First thing is, where's the equity coming from? Second is, who's getting what under the table? There isn't that element. Okay, guys, I'll see you tonight. I'll see you at 5:30. You can come a few minutes early. It's our market. I mean, I'm interested when you do your first deal. You can contact Kim by email in the rough parameters of the first deal. I know you can do it. The only downside right now is a lot of people are on holiday, but I mean, we have deals getting done on holidays.
How we get rid of the RIP on our list?
Well, yeah. Well, I noticed a bunch of you put their homework in now. I'm told. Kim's pulling my jacket. What's wrong? You know, what did you tell him? What do you mean? What I tell him? Well, all of a sudden we got a plethora of homework in, and anyway.